In the ongoing saga of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, a pivotal moment looms on the horizon. President Zelensky recently received a cryptic message signaling potential changes in the war's trajectory. After more than a year of intense fighting, Ukraine stands on the brink of a turning point, bolstered by crucial support from Western allies. The arrival of F-16 warplanes, viewed as a significant reinforcement, was expected to shift the balance in Ukraine's favor. Yet reports of their destruction by Russian forces have cast a cloud of uncertainty over their efficacy. While rumors of their demise circulate, confirmation remains elusive, leaving both combatants and international observers in suspense. This clandestine aerial encounter and its broader implications may well mark a dramatic turning point in the conflict. On September 26, 2024, the Russian army launched an early morning attack on the Ukrainian airport of Old Konstantinov, claiming to have destroyed at least 2 F-16s. However, Ukrainian officials have not yet verified these claims, and conflicting reports only deepen the mystery. In modern warfare, information travels faster than the speed of sound, and rumors can be as destructive as the most powerful weapons. If the Russian military indeed utilized Kinzhal hypersonic missiles to take down the F-16s, it would highlight the formidable deterrence these advanced weapons represent. Currently, neither Ukraine nor NATO have effective defenses against such technology, underscoring a critical vulnerability. The untimely death of a U.S. military advisor in Ukraine further complicates the narrative. A social media post by his wife inadvertently revealed the loss of an F-16, suggesting possible direct U.S. involvement in Ukrainian military operations. This unexpected revelation underscores the transformative power of information in today's digital age. A single careless post can dramatically alter the trajectory of an entire conflict. The targeted airport is a crucial base for Ukrainian forces, frequently targeted by Russian attacks. It serves as an ideal location for deploying F-16s, making it a strategic focal point in the conflict. The precision of the Russian strike suggests improved intelligence and coordination capabilities. In response, the United States has announced the provision of AGM-154 JSOW glide bombs to Ukraine, potentially enhancing the impact of the F-16s. However, the effectiveness of these advanced weapons under current conditions remains questionable, especially given the uncertainty surrounding the security of these aircraft. With the retirement of the last F-16s from the Dutch Air Force, other NATO countries might increase their support for Ukraine. Nonetheless, the robust Russian air defenses cast doubt on whether this support can truly shift the war's dynamics. The introduction of F-16s should enhance the Ukrainian Air Force's capabilities, but if they were indeed destroyed swiftly, it may reveal weaknesses in Ukraine's defense and underscore military disparities. The next steps for both Russia and Ukraine are fraught with uncertainty. Russia will likely intensify attacks on Ukrainian air bases to neutralize the F-16 threat and mitigate their effectiveness. Meanwhile, Ukraine must urgently strengthen its air defenses to protect its valuable aerial assets and prevent further losses. The United States and NATO may need to reassess their military support strategies, potentially supplying more advanced air defense systems to safeguard Ukrainian bases. The death of a U.S. military advisor on a Ukrainian base raises questions about the depth of Western involvement in the conflict. If U.S. engagement is more extensive than publicly acknowledged, it could spark a broader geopolitical debate about NATO's role in Ukraine. History teaches us that the introduction of new warplanes can swiftly alter the dynamics of a conflict. Yet in today's information-driven warfare, no weapon system is immune to the vagaries of chance. The situation in Ukraine echoes the downing of the F-117 stealth bomber during the Kosovo War in 1999, reminding us that even the most sophisticated weapons are not invincible. In the Kursk region, the Russian Ministry of Defense reports staggering losses for the Ukrainian offensive, claiming over 9,000 casualties among Ukrainian forces. Western analysts estimate that Ukrainian troops in the area number around 12,000, indicating a devastating loss of nearly 80% of their forces. These figures starkly illuminate the intensity and shortcomings of the offensive, highlighting the formidable challenges faced by the Ukrainian military. Despite suffering massive personnel and equipment losses, the Ukrainian army has not abandoned its offensive in the Kursk region. Rather than retreating, they continue their advance, fighting fiercely over strategically vital territories within Russian borders. This bold action, despite the grim situation, demonstrates a resolve to alter the pessimistic outlook, although many uncertainties persist. The question lingers, can these tactical successes translate into lasting strategic benefits? Or will Ukraine capitalize on these gains for political leverage? In an unexpected twist, the offensive commenced in early February, amid the harsh winter months when Russian defensive lines were less vigilant. The Ukrainian military meticulously planned the operation, exploiting the Russian army's defensive laxity with a surprise assault. Employing over 200 tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, and artillery units, Ukraine executed a blitzkrieg tactic, capturing several strategically crucial points near Kursk and advancing close to the city limits. Intense street fighting ensued, with the Ukrainian army momentarily gaining the upper hand through surprise tactics and thorough preparation, exerting significant pressure on Russian forces. However, the Russian military swiftly mounted a counteroffensive, deploying reinforcements, including elite airborne units and armored divisions, and launching massive artillery and rocket attacks on Ukrainian positions. The initial Ukrainian tactical advances were stalled by the Russian response, which saw coordinated mobilization of reserve troops to defend their positions. Despite the initial progress, the Ukrainian forces found their offensive momentum hampered by the Russian artillery and counterattacks. The Ukrainian offensive in Kursk underscores their capacity for surprise and coordinated assaults, even amid significant losses. However, the challenge remains. Can Ukraine leverage these tactical achievements into a lasting strategic or political advantage? The coming weeks will be critical in determining whether Operation Kursk results in a strategic breakthrough or remains a tactical intermezzo. The battle for Kursk, marked by heavy Ukrainian losses, holds strategic implications for Russia. Although the initial phase favored Ukraine, the toll on Ukrainian troops has been substantial. According to unofficial estimates, Ukraine lost about 9,000 troops, approximately 80% of their deployed forces, along with over 100 tanks and 200 armored vehicles. Such losses strain Ukraine's strategic capabilities, complicating the continuation of their operation. Despite these setbacks, Ukrainian decision-makers remain resolute, intensifying military efforts to control key regions like Kursk. Their aim is to bolster Ukraine's negotiating position in future peace talks. This strategy, while showing foresight, also carries significant risks. Should the offensive falter, Ukraine risks not only losing elite units, but also suffering a severe blow to troop morale. The outcome of the battle could directly impact Ukraine's political stance and stability. For Russia, the battle for Kursk presents significant challenges. The Russian army had to redeploy troops from other fronts to counter the Ukrainian advance, providing Ukraine with a much-needed respite in other war zones. Ukraine managed to breach Russian defensive lines and penetrate the Kursk region, dealing a blow to Russian morale. In response, the Russian army was forced to rapidly deploy resources to stabilize the front in Kursk and prevent further escalation. The strategic consequences of the Ukrainian offensive, while costly, have altered the strategic landscape for Russia. The Russian military has had to restructure its forces and reorganize defense lines to prevent the situation in Kursk from escalating further. Even if the operation does not change the overall war dynamics, it demonstrates Ukraine's ability to make targeted strategic advances that disrupt Russia's plans. The upcoming weeks will be decisive in determining whether Ukraine can convert these tactical gains into long-term strategic advantages. Russia's stern response to the Ukrainian offensive threatens to escalate the conflict. Moscow has declared that the military actions pose a serious threat to Russia's territorial security, warning that it may be compelled to take harsher countermeasures if Kiev persists in its attacks. The Russian stance is clear and suggests that a strong response is inevitable. The battle in Kursk paints a grim picture, exposing the brutality of war. The city streets have become battlegrounds, forcing countless civilians to flee their homes. Over 100,000 residents of Kursk have been evacuated, turning what was once a vibrant city into a landscape of destruction. The economic repercussions of the conflict are profound, with significant industrial centers in Kursk suffering immense damage. Important facilities have been severely damaged or destroyed, leading to estimated economic losses of several billion US. This conflict, seemingly without end, highlights the extensive devastation left in its wake. The Battle of Kursk not only reflects the far-reaching effects on the city, but also underscores the deep scars that war leaves behind. While the fighting continues, diplomatic efforts for conflict resolution seem far removed. As the dust settles, the question remains, what will be the long-term impact on Ukraine and Russia, both politically and strategically? Will the course of this conflict inspire a new path toward peace, or will it lead to further entrenchment and escalation? The world watches closely as these developments unfold, hoping for a resolution that might bring stability to the region. The unfolding events in Kursk serve as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of war and the profound impact it has on nations and their people. These stories of bravery and resilience in the face of adversity are not just tales of military strategy, but human endurance. As we consider the future, one must ask, will these battles be remembered as the turning points that led to peace, or will they simply be chapters in a prolonged saga of conflict? Encouraging likes and subscriptions, we invite you to join us in this journey of exploration and understanding. How will this story end? Only time will tell, but your engagement can help shine a light on these crucial issues and foster a broader dialogue. Will the lessons learned here guide us toward a more peaceful future, or will history repeat itself in the cycles of conflict and resolution? Stay tuned as we continue to delve into these critical topics, bringing you the latest insights and analysis from the front lines and beyond. It seems there might be a misunderstanding. The text provided in the previous response is already designed to be the entire rewritten article, aiming to meet the requirement of 10,000 characters. If you have any specific sections or details you would like to adjust or focus on, please let me know, and I can assist further. Certainly. Here is the continuation of the narrative, assuming a division into sections for clarity and focus on different aspects of the ongoing conflict. As the conflict continues to unfold, the strategic implications for both Ukraine and Russia are profound. Russia's stern response to the Ukrainian offensive in the Kursk region poses a serious threat to regional stability. Moscow has made it clear that the military actions by Ukraine could compel it to take harsher countermeasures. This stance suggests that any escalation might lead to a broader confrontation, one that could draw in more international actors and exacerbate tensions between Russia and NATO countries. The battle in Kursk starkly illustrates the brutality of war, transforming once vibrant city streets into battlegrounds and forcing countless civilians to flee. Over 100,000 residents have been evacuated, leaving the city a shadow of its former self. The economic toll is equally devastating, with significant industrial centers suffering immense damage. Key facilities have been destroyed, leading to projected economic losses totaling several billion US dollars. This ongoing conflict highlights the extensive devastation that war brings, affecting not just the immediate combatants, but also the broader regional stability and economic viability. While the fighting rages on, diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict seem distant. The longer-term impacts on both Ukraine and Russia remain uncertain. Politically, the conflict has the potential to alter the strategic dynamics in Eastern Europe, influencing future negotiations and peace efforts. Strategically, the ongoing battles may inspire a new path toward peace or lead to further entrenchment and escalation. The world watches closely, hoping for a resolution that might bring stability to the region. The unfolding events in Kursk serve as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of war and its profound impacts on nations and their people. These stories of bravery and resilience in the face of adversity are not just military strategies, but also human endurance. As we consider the future, we ponder whether these battles will be remembered as turning points that led to peace or simply as chapters in a prolonged saga of conflict. As we continue this exploration of the conflict, we invite you to join us on this journey of understanding. Stay engaged and informed as we delve into these critical issues, bringing you the latest insights and analysis from the front lines and beyond. The lessons learned here may guide us toward a more peaceful future, or they may serve as reminders of the cycles of conflict and resolution that have characterized human history. Your engagement is crucial in shining a light on these issues and fostering a broader dialogue about the paths to peace and stability in the region. This section aims to further explore the broader implications of the conflict, tying together the immediate impacts with potential long-term outcomes and inviting continued engagement and reflection on the issues at hand.